Welcome back to Maine Tiny Homestead. Today we're out in the onion patch and we're going to do some trimming. Come along, I'll show you what we're doing. We're back here in the garden with the onion patch, and what we're going to try to do is make our onions get a little bit bigger. What's happening here, as you can see, is the leaves are crimping and falling over, and they're actually forcing the plant to not grow as much, right? Because if the leaves fall over and you lose it in the neck, you can see this one here is prematurely starting to fall over. This one's going strong, but I have all this crimping. So what we're really going to try to do is do a little trim here so that we can give the plant the energy it needs to get back into the bulb and fight off what's happening with these bending over. Now that I'm looking at everything in here, I really should have did this about a week or so ago, because we've had some vicious storms come through here. And look at this one, the neck's already bent over. What you're really looking for your onions is to have the neck straight up like this one. This one's really strong and sturdy, if you can see that, like that. And look at the one right next to it, drooping over slightly. And then this one bent over all the way. What happens when it bends over all the way, it's really sending a message to the bulb that it's done growing for the year. And it's not going to make the bulb any bigger. So I'm probably going to pull this one since that I noticed this happened. So there's probably a few I'm going to need to pull since I haven't really been looking at this with this detail. And I'm going to try to give these guys a little bit more growing time because I'd love to have really big onions. Look at this one. That one's pretty big on its own right now. Not bad from growing from seed from my first year growing onions, so I'm pretty impressed with that. So let me cut some of these up and I'll show you what it looks like. Wow, look at this now. It looks so much better, doesn't it? All of that heavy growth has been cut off. Oh, I just saw one I missed. Hang on. See this one right here? That's one I missed. Get that out of there. So all the tops have been cut on all of the onions in this batch. And we have a variation of what's happened here. So if you had all the conditions were good, look at how big this onion is. Onion number 2 right here. This one not too bad right next to it. Now the wind started knocking this one over and the rain, and that one's going a little bit sideways. And then look at this poor one. This one's bent all the way over and very small. So I'm probably going to pull that one. I got another one over here that's bent all the way over. Probably going to pull that one too. Because what you don't want them to do is rot in the ground when the stem right here at the bottom is already bent over. They're not going to grow anymore, so best to get them out. So all of these are looking pretty good. So hopefully we can extend the life of these a little bit and maybe get another month out of them. Here's a couple more to trim. And you might be wondering, do these, is this a bad thing to cut them open like that? Because, you get some really open ones there. They really should only stay open for a day or two, and then naturally they'll close themselves up so it can heal and grow more. So that's pretty exciting. So I got all the onions done in this bed, and we have about 22 here. Now the rest of the onions are over here mixed in with the carrots. Oh, this blew off, shoot. I'll have to put this back on, but as you can see, the carrots are in here actually getting destroyed by some slugs. I got a slug problem in here. But they don't like onions, so it's not affecting them. But look at how these are all drooped over, so I got a lot of work to do to clean up this side too. Look how much better these look as well. But they're still, half of these don't look that great in here. They're a lot smaller than the other bed, except for 1 or 2, but not as good as the other ones. So growing them in here with carrots, I don't know if I would do this again. Or maybe I only plant 1 row of carrots right down the middle here instead of 3. Because these ferns are growing up a lot more than I kind of thought they would. And on this side, I trimmed these down as well. I don't have as many onions on this side. And they're just slightly bigger. I don't know why. Maybe these leaves were leaning the other way. But lesson learned, I don't think I'm going to plant with carrots next year. These ferns really take up too much space and they attract slugs. So with all the rain that we've had this year, slugs are eating the carrots and the chamomile. That's their 2 favorites of choice in my garden. So if you want your onions a little bit bigger, consider giving them a trim. It will take the weight off of the bulb and hopefully make them a little bit bigger and last a little bit longer. As always, thanks for watching Maine Tiny Homestead.